Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today for round 13 of the season for one of my favourite tracks on the calendar, the Belgian Grand Prix, along with the Japanese Grand Prix. Those two make up my two favourite tracks on the entire calendar, and I'm looking forward to getting to work and to bit straight on the business really this weekend. But first of all guys, if you guys missed the last episode in Hungary, then go watch the video guys by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen, where we did have some pretty big upgrades in the last episode, and we had a very exciting race. But you can see on the screen right now, we had a bit of a mixed result with the aerodynamic package this weekend, or the upgrade package should I say. The engine, or the major engine upgrade arrived, which is good. That's the important one, because that was a major upgrade, and we're going into Spa today and Monza in the next race. The bad news is the drag reduction and also the weight reduction on the aero and chassis respectively didn't arrive. So as you can see, the good news is though, we have actually overtaken Toro Rosso, so we're no longer the slowest car on the grid, which is fantastic news for us, and we've been working all season long for that, and we finally arrived here in the Belgian Grand Prix to that milestone of finally getting off the bottom of the table and no longer being the slowest car. And as you can see at the moment, we're currently taking part in practice, and FP1 was actually in the wet conditions, and it took a while. It's been a while since I've had some wet conditions in this career mode, so it took me a little minute just to get used to it and feel, see how the car was getting on. But eventually I skipped onto FP2 and done most of my practice programs in that session in the dry, because obviously you want to have some more realistic, more valuable data for going into qualifying in the race, of course. So yeah, overall a decent practice session. We had most of our goals, and overall I was feeling really confident around here. The car felt good. I was really enjoying driving this track, and like I mentioned before, the last few races, I'd say about the last 3, 4, 5 races, the car has just felt a little bit different. I can arrive at a track now and the car will more or less feel okay. It won't feel like an absolute bag of trash. So yeah, overall it's much better now, and the Williams is slowly improving, and we've got a little baseline of confidence now to really work with going forward, which is absolutely fantastic. But for this weekend, we're running 110% AI difficulty for this weekend at the Belgian Grand Prix, guys. Once again, we're running the maximum difficulty, and I've never done this that long into the season before, so just a testament to how well we've been doing this season, and how competitive we have been as a driver. And I'm quite happy with how my driving has been this season. Overall, I'm very proud. I've been very consistent, very competitive, and my overall pace has been right up there, and I've also been driving better than I ever have in any career mode. So overall I'm very happy with it, and the Williams car definitely challenging all my all my skills as a driver, which I'm absolutely loving. But now we're going to jump into business here, and straight away we're going to get to Q1. This was my first of 2 runs, and my first one being pretty damn good, to be honest. I was really happy with this lap at the time, and you'll see here as we cross the line, about 1.8 behind Sebastian Vettel, give or take. We go P18, we get ahead of Kevin Magnussen, surprisingly, in the Haas. Then eventually we got pushed down to P19, and with 15 seconds to go, we're going to be the last car to cross the line and set a lap here in Q1. So let's run on board for the full lap and my best lap in Q1, and let's see if we can try and get ourselves out of the first part of qualifying. So here we go straight away, braking late for turn 1, just after the DRS detection line, and then make sure you get the car down to the apex on the power as soon as possible, and down the hill you go, through a rouge, flat out through here, and so far so good. Really good first sector. Overall, I found a way to keep on hitting that first sector consistently every single lap, and now it comes down to sector 2, which is where you can make or break your lap, and the AI are very strong through sector 2, as you can see here. Now down, braking very late, actually a tenth of a second up on Verstappen, I believe, through sector 1, but we get very hot on the brakes into Les Combes, run a bit deep, and we throw away our delta, which is unfortunate. So we've got to try and make up for it here as we go down through Rivage, another lock up there, but we get a good exit as a consequence by running wide and throwing the car through turn 9. We actually get a fantastic bit of momentum there and get the delta back into the negative as we now go down towards Pouan here, going down 1 gear, throw the car in and hope there's enough downforce for it to hold on as we now go down the hill, and you're looking for the break point into the Fagnes chicane just before the 50 meter board, or bang on the 50 meter board if you've got a more competitive car. Throwing the car in, really attack those inside curves because they really help rotate the car and get more turn. As we now go down towards Stavlo, down a couple of gears, make sure you use all the curb on the left hand side here to maximise your exit, and now flat out through the second one, and so far about a tenth and a half up. I think it could have been about 2.5 tenths had we not locked up into Les Combes. I think that was a pretty bad mistake to make. But other than that, it's been a pretty perfect lap up until this point as we now go through Blanchimont, and now looking for the break point into the bus stop chicane, braking at the 100 meter board, brake just after it, down to second gear, and then even use first if we need to for the second one, and then try and get the power as soon as possible, open up DRS as we run out to the line, and there we go, and that's a lap of Spa. Do we improve at all, and do we get off P19 or P20? And no, we do not. We actually finished last in that qualifying session, but look how close it was. Myself, Kubica, Albon, Kvyat, Grosjean and Giovinazzi there, all of us covered by 2.5 tenths or 3 tenths almost. And a very competitive session, really enjoyable actually. Even though I finished last, I was very happy with that one. I think a perfect lap could have been maybe a low 0.1, so we could have been, challenging Grosjean and Kvyat. I think that's where we should have been on a perfect lap. I don't think a 43 was possible. I don't think that much pace in the car. But other than that, guys, a decent session and no complaints on my end. We had to fight for it, and I thoroughly enjoyed that scrap. With that being said, we're going to start the Belgian Grand Prix from last place. But yeah, enough qualifying. We're now going to move into the race for round 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track is a great one for fans of pure speed. The average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles an hour. Anthony Davidson is alongside me in the commentary box to take you through all the action today. Now, it's a closely matched field here in Spa, Ant, so where do you think we're going to see somebody make a difference?
If they're as close as we're expecting them to be, especially through the midfield, then being able to keep the front tyres in good condition could make the difference. You always lose a chunk of downforce at the front when you're in the turbulent air of another car, which tends to cause understeer, which in turn causes front tyre degradation. Now, too much damage there could force an early pit stop and put you at a slight disadvantage, so the drivers will want to be careful not to be too aggressive early on in the Grand Prix.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Pierre Gasly and Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Norris, Magnussen and Lance Stroll, Perez, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. Grosjean, Kvyat, Daniel Ricciardo and Alexander Albon, Kubica and Martinez. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, here we are then on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix, starting from last place, P20. A very decent qualifying though, I quite enjoyed it. It was very competitive and very close, but eventually we got edged out by our own teammate and also the drivers in front of us. And I think we could have done better. I think I didn't really quite nail the lap. I think there was more time in it, but still, it was going to be very close, and I think it would have taken an absolute perfect lap to get out of Q1. But yeah, overall, looking forward to it. Race pace tends to be better for us, and it could be a very exciting race. In terms of strategy, that we're going to start on the medium tyres and go onto the softs. Originally, the team recommended the soft medium. I've basically flipped it around and doing the opposite strategy because I always find this way works quicker for me and it's faster for lap time. Fuel-wise, we're going to run 1 lap of extra fuel as always, and yeah, no rain expected, and hopefully it's a pretty straightforward race. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favourite tracks on the calendar alongside Japan. It's in my top 2 favourites, so I want to try and do well and have a good race. So with that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for round 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. We've had a couple of good starts in the last few races. Can we get one more here today as the 5 lights come on? Lights out, away we go. Not a bad start. Not bad at all. Into turn 1, Kubica going for the full send. I'm going to just back out of that for now. I'm not going to get involved. I can see Ricciardo here is also on mediums, which is good news. So, in principle, it seems the majority of cars in front are running the softs. I'm going to not turn the engine up here. I'm going to let the AI go side by side for a rouge and kind of essentially take time off of each other. And now we're going to start to gain here as we've got the slipstream. Here we go, let's see if this engine upgrade pays off. We're getting a nice tow here. 3 wide, I'm in the middle. I'm being brave on the mediums. Ricciardo almost hitting me there. That Torosso sideways, we've got to go around the outside, avoid the contact. Very nice, very good racing there as we avoid having contact. We've got both McLarens in front. I just caught a glimpse of Grosjean. He's got mediums on as well. So let's try and follow these guys as we get a big bit of oversteer there. Kubica, though, has had an absolutely incredible start. I think he's up to 14th or 13th place just up the road. Really good start there from my teammate. But for us, we're going to try and find the pace in this medium. We've got to try and hang in with these guys as long as we can. and then that way our strategy will play off because we'll be on the soft tyres there trying to really do some damage. So I've got to try and stay in this sort of train. Kubica will definitely help me out with that because he's not that fast, so hopefully he'll, you know, cause people up. But I want to get that McLaren. I think I caught a glimpse of it, and obviously the signs is in front of us. So I'm guessing it's Grosjean who's on the medium. So let's try and get after these guys and get into the slipstream, because at the minute we're miles away, and I can visually see how much we're losing on the straight just by not being in the slipstream. So we need to get within that window.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
That was a good turn one. Let's see if we can get the run on signs here as we go up through a Rouge. There won't be no DRS yet, so overtakes will be tricky to produce. I'm going to just leave it in rich mix for now. The good thing is that we are within the slipstream, so that's what we want. I'm going to go down to low ERS and then down to none as we approach Les Combes. Meanwhile, Kubica getting some action here, being overtaken or trying to be overtaken by the Alfa Romeo. I want to say that's Giovinazzi probably. And I think Gio might be on the mediums as well, or whoever it is in the Alfa. I'll confirm it now. Yeah, he's on medium. So that Alfa Romeo also on medium tyres. So we've got to try and stick with these guys because they're on the same strategy as us. So they're going to be racing us coming into the race. It's all kicking off here. I managed to get within Sainz's DRS quite nicely.
Power from the engine is going to be down slightly. It's showing some minor wear.
I'm going to try my luck around the outside here. Can we get Sainz around the outside? Side by side, a little bit of contact. We're going to take the inside there for turn 9. A little bit of understeer kicking in as well for good measure. But we get past Sainz. And Ricciardo slipped by in the process as well in the Renault. So there we go. Nice opportunistic overtake on Carlos. Now we've got Grosjean in front on the mediums, as we noted before. And Giovinazzi now starting to make a breakaway. I think it's him in the Alfa. A little bit of oversteer. They've got to catch that. Kubica's definitely got maybe some issue or something because I'm faster than him on these tyres, which is a little bit concerning for him. And for the back straight, I need to somehow get into that toe because I'm really struggling for straight line speed here. If I lose the slipstream, I'm going to be an absolute passenger in this race. There we go, we're gaining now quite nicely. We're in that perfect range where we gain towards the bus stop. Let's try and get nice and close. Onto the pit straight then. Let's try and get past Grosjean and use Kubica to try and make the move happen. Good turn 1. Let's try and get the exit. Okay, Grosjean's running a very low engine mode here, so I'm going to go down to none ERS. I don't want to hit him midway up the hill, otherwise it's going to ruin my momentum. Now we turn the engine up. DRS, we're going to power past it. The new engine upgrade paying off. Down the inside. Comfy move on the brakes. Braking late enough that Grosjean doesn't go around the outside and try to hold it. And now all of a sudden Kubica's come alive here. He seems to be doing much better in the slipstream, which is what I said as well. You know, I think we're lacking a bit of straight line speed, and we're much better off following cars rather than leading them. So that seems to be the strategy for us going forward as we're now up to P15 in this race. Okay, so it's Raikkonen actually in the Alfa as Kubica makes the move and gets back past. I should be close enough and within range to pick up the RS as we go into the bus stop, nice and late on the brakes, just to make sure we really close the gap. And we're actually catching the cars in front as well, which is good. So we're looking good here at the minute. Good pace, strategy's working out okay. Tactical use of DRS. Let's try and get a good exit, there we go. Right, pressure's off from behind so we can focus on Raikkonen in front of us as the next overtake, as the next target. As Raikkonen goes for the move on Kubica and gets back past once again. If I go for the move, it's got to be definitive. I've got to try and get past and stay in front and pull away. So we're going to try and time this. Dare I say, charge up a bit of fuel in the RS because we're chewing through the fuel consumption here at the minute. Kubica goes for the re-overtake on Kimi. As I'm just watching this, there's also a battle just in front and they're losing quite a bit of time. Looks like we might get involved and join up as a pack, which is good news. I'm also trying to save a little bit of fuel in the RS at the minute, getting ready for when those soft tyre runners pit in and all us medium guys get released into clean air, because that's when you've got to really try and show some pace. So I'm kind of getting ready for that phase now. Okay, so we've caught up to at least a racing point. Giovinazzi just up the road as well. Points are getting nearer. There's another train of cars in front of that. So this could get interesting. Doesn't feel like Kimi's running a high engine mode here, and actually Kubica's going to attack the Racing Point, so I'm going to try and get past Kimi here in the Alpha. Same tyres as me, same strategy, so we're going to go to the inside and try and power past the Iceman. Inside line, there we go, as Kubica actually gets past Perez for P12. So both myself and Robert now doing quite well in this race, and showing the upgrades, you know, working quite well. I think Perez might have an issue. He's going quite slow, and he qualified quite high up, so I do wonder if he's maybe struggling in that Racing Point. He's visibly slow through the corners. Okay, they're in a great spot to get a lovely tow from Perez all the way down the straight without needing to turn the engine up. But you can see that Racing Point how fast it is though. Look how he's gaining on Kubica and actually pulling away from me. Dare I say he's going to actually challenge Kubica into the brake zone. There's also Raikkonen that gets close to me as well on the Alpha. Try and make the pass on Sergio here, and then maybe pass my own teammate and then get released into clean air or semi-clean air. Obviously Giovinazzi's in front of us. Well, I've turned the engine up here. Look at the momentum up the hill. Perez is going to go for the move on Kubica, but we're going to go for the double to the inside, making it a 3 wide. Perez has got wing damage, you can see it there on the left hand side. Perez going late on the brakes, we're going to hold the inside though and make the double overtake. Okay, now can I pull away? Let's find out. Let's try and go after Giovinazzi as I accidentally double shift. Good news is Kubica stayed in front of Perez there, so that's going to help me out. I've already got a bit of a gap as it is, so let's just have a strong middle sector here and give it everything. Let's just pick up a track extension there, that's fair enough. Okay, cars pit in. Meanwhile, we're looking good here to get a second clear of Kubica, which is what I wanted. There's the detection point where it was a little bit further back, but we're definitely out of a second, without a doubt. Personal best and car in the pit lane, so we're out of the P11. Let's land on Norris. Let's try and keep that 1 second gap now as long as we can. More cars pit in, including Giovinazzi, who's in front of us. Kimi's also made the move, so he's behind us now in the medium tyre. But plenty of cars in the pit lane this time.
Robert is in the pits. Robert in the pits.
So we're going to rejoin right in the thick of it with the big boys. There's Leclerc on the mediums. And we've got Verstappen just next to us, slash behind us. Let's see if we can try and keep at least Verstappen behind for a little while for this lap. Try and run at leader's pace, which will help us out. Verstappen will have the DRS though behind me. I'm going to just turn the engine back up again. I think Verstappen's going to challenge though into the brake zone. Yes, he does. He's late on the brakes. He makes it work. Too much grip in that Red Bull. Can't really challenge. Let's just follow him. Let's see where we rejoin this time, or where the AI rejoin this time. Looks like Sebastian's going to rejoin right next to his former teammate Kimi Raikkonen. That can make things quite interesting, as hopefully I get a chance to pull away a little bit more. They'll be on the back of me though at the end of this lap without a doubt. Okay, Gasly all over the back of me now in the Red Bull, as you'd expect. This will be a very simple pass for him. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel and Raikkonen battling away. I'm going to show Gasly the inside so he can get on with it, and I'm going to try and use his slipstream. And I'll also pick up the DRS as well on the pit straight. Let's just follow the Red Bull here. Don't lose too much time if I can avoid it. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't defended against Verstappen and just let him go by on the straight. Let's try and pick up DRS on the Kemmel straight as well. So let's try and have a good turn 1 and stay close to Pierre. Oh, it's a bit deep. Tyres are starting to let go. I'm going to turn up the engine just to stay within DRS range. Detection point coming up. There we go. That should be enough. So we're definitely within DRS here, so that's good. There we are. There we go. I think Kimi might have pit in actually. Sebastian Vettel's behind me. So Kimi may be going for the harder tyres possibly. That could be interesting.
Pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
I'm not sure if I am going to pit, because I want to have maybe 1 lap fresher tyres just to make sure I can really push on those soft tyres. I don't want to have to do some managing at the end. You know, so many times in the past I've had to manage my tyres right on the last few laps when I'm in that crucial stage we're going to overtake somebody. So we'll stay off for one more. I still feel happy on these. I've got a lot of grip on these, and my performance isn't too bad. So let's just stay with it for now, and we'll pit in at the end of this lap. Seems like more misery for Ferrari as Sebastian's been overtaken by Norris. I think Sebastian has trouble with his car. We're still holding P6, but we are going to pit in now. We've had a very good first stint. I don't think we're going to rejoin where we were before, so around P11. I don't think that's going to happen. But we're going to have the advantage of the freshest tyres in the field, and more importantly, the soft tyres. So let's have a good stop. Obviously, first time we pit in, and first pit stop with the new level 3 pit stop efficiency that we agreed in the last contract. So that will also play into effect. Like I see now from there through the final corner, that could be Giovinazzi. So I'm looking at Kubica behind him as a reference, because turn 1 favours, you know, the exit. So here we go then. Nice quick stop. Come on, boys.
Go, go, go.
1.9, we'll take that. Kubica's by himself, but I think we're going to rejoin in front.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Or not, it's going to be close. He almost put me in the wall there, but we should be able to get past him straight away here on the straight. I think he got DRS though. We'll find out shortly. No, we got DRS. Okay, here we go then. Let's make the overtake on my own teammate. No need to turn the engine up. We can make this one with just raw engine power. So P12 on fresh soft tyres. Let's get after Giovinazzi and make a move. I'm going to try and save fuel in the RS on this lap, on my out lap, just to really make sure we can fully attack. And those cars that are up in front of us aren't too far away, so we're still in this race, and points are definitely not off the table just yet. Okay, then here we go. A pursuit towards Giovinazzi begins, and Sebastian Vettel, of course, with car trouble, is going to make this a lot more interesting in terms of catching cars. It's going to make it a lot more achievable. We just got to make sure we make no mistakes and have good pace for the rest of the race. Not quite within Giovinazzi's DRS just yet. Soft tyres are working good, but they're not making a major difference. Not as much as you normally would in a faster car. Still good pace though, 47.1, and we're just outside of Gio's DRS window. I was hoping to be within DRS this lap. I don't think I'm close enough though. I'm going to try and turn the engine up to see if I can just nick it, but I don't think it's enough. Okay, now we're within range. We'll get a nice slipstream here on the back straight. Also Kubica in a fantastic 13th place.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
But I do think his fabulous drive is going to come to an end, as I think the cars behind are going to start queuing up, especially those on the soft tyre. Vettel ever closer, you can see him just into the bus stop now. And we've now finally got DRS and Giovinazzi here, so let's make it count and pass him straight away. I'm going to get DRS here, and then we'll wait until the Camel straight. Personal best again. To the first corner, let's be careful here, let's not overdo it. Easy on the throttle. I'm not going to turn the engine up just yet, we'll wait until we get over the hill. As we're getting a natural slipstream off of Gio, especially up the hill. There we go. Now we turn it up. Rich mix. And that should do the trick. To the right hand side we go. And there it is. Easy move on the Alpha. Up to P11. There's Sebastian in front with car trouble. I think he's missing an end plate. I think that's what it is. Not an actual car problem.
They're speeding up again, so I expect they fixed whatever the problem was.
Or not. Maybe that was for Sebastian. If so, I'm going to cry because we've been so close to the points for the last few races. We were so close last race. If we're close again, I'm going to wish for a bit of luck, but hopefully that's not for Sebastian. If it is,
some
then...
information on Norris. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Oh, okay, so never mind. Even if it is Sebastian, Norris is in front in that little train of cars, I think, so it could come back to us. Or he's a little bit further ahead, actually. I think it's at Stavlo. Yeah, Norris is at Stavlo. He's going to the back straight now, so this could still happen. I've got to keep the pace up. Track extension again, got to be careful with those now. And Gio's keeping on with me here as well, I've got to be careful. Yellow flag behind. We'll see what happened. Someone's had a problem. Alex Albon in the Toro Rosso. Out of the race. Let's keep focused though, we're catching these guys in front. Sebastian Vettel is back up to full speed now, but he could also make it interesting by battling away with those cars in that pack. And Norris is in the middle of it now, he's struggling with his car. Okay, Norris has now been overtaken by everybody. He's at the back of the queue. Having said that, Giovinazzi is not letting me go here, and he's not done just yet. He's still pushing. He's got the speed. Here he comes. Side by side into the bus stop. We're going to hold the inside though, and there's no chance he's getting by me on the brakes there. Absolutely no chance. 2 laps to go. Can we catch Norris? That train you can see in front in turn 1. This is going to be very close now. A very intense and frenetic final lap awaits. Norris is right there. No DRS, of course. We are too far away, so we're going to catch him right in the lap. Depends how bad his issues are and if they persist until the end of the race. Let's keep pushing. Let's not give up. I can smell a point. I really can.
It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed.
I think that's Lando, unfortunately for us. I can't believe it. We're going to fall just short again of the points. We've been so close the last few races, but we just can't quite make it work. Lewis wins in Belgium though. Let's keep pushing. Let's not give up. You never know. But I think Lando's back up to speed, unfortunately for us. Still though, I've enjoyed it. It's been a good race from P20 to P11. A valiant effort. The car was fantastic. Much better in race trim. Really, really competitive. You know, even Robert having a fantastic race in P14. But here we go then. Turn the engine down. And up to the line we go, through the bus stop. No mistakes now, please, because one more and we're going to get a penalty if we pick up another corner cutter extension. There we go, job done, up to the line, P11. Decent race, very enjoyable. I'll take that.
Nice work, you did well today. I think the boss will be happy with that one.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Right, so here we have the final race results as Hamilton wins the Belgian Grand Prix, and once again another victory for him, and he's been dominating lately. He's been really on form and pretty much is going to wrap up the championship. That's 2 races in a row now where he's scored the win and also picking up the first lap of the race now. So he's scored 52 points in the last 2 races. But Valtteri Bottas only P2 and Leclerc on the podium for Ferrari in P3 ahead of Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly there. Nico Hülkenberg best of the rest in P6. Sebastian Vettel with car trouble recovering to P7, and then Stroll, Magnussen and Norris holding on there for the points. And we just miss out in P11 unfortunately for us, but the points will come eventually. Giovinazzi 12th, Perez 13th, Kubica, Raikkonen, Sainz, Grosjean, Kvyat and Ricciardo rounding out the top 19 runners. Ricciardo finishing last here today. Very poor race for him, with Alexander Albon the only non-classified runner as a retirement. But in terms of the standings, you can see on screen we finally get knocked off P11 as Hülkenberg overtakes us there in the Renault, and we've got Sainz 3 points behind, pretty close. Lance Stroll 6 points behind, but yeah, overall it was going to happen eventually. We haven't scored points in a long time, so yeah. Meanwhile, up the top of the table, Lewis 79 points clear of Bottas and 121 clear of Leclerc. He's dominating. And in terms of the constructors, we are still P9, but there's quite a gap to Renault now. Renault have really pulled away, and Alfa as well. So yeah, our objective is to stay in front of Toro Rosso for now. And Mercedes at the top, 187 points clear of Ferrari. They are also dominating in both championships. But guys, that is it for this race. We're now going to move into the laptop and put on a couple of upgrades, and at least the 2 that have fell for this race are going to go into the car for the next one at Monza, unless we can try and add anything else to that one for the next couple of races.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, so here we are then on the laptop, and we have 1,455 points to spend. Now, the good news is, if we scroll over to the contracts tab, you can see on the team goal, we've got to hit 8 practice programs, and we'll hit that goal in the next race as well, after Italy. So we'll get an extra 600 points to spend in the next episode, plus on top of whatever we have to spend anyway. So we've got a couple of good points coming our way, and some good investment coming. So we're going to look at the upgrades. Now, first of all, straight away, we're going to do the ones that failed, and they're about 300 points each. So we're going to get those in the car straight away. And one of them is for the tyre wear, which will hopefully help us out. And the other one is for drag reduction. And then I've got 871 points to play around with. And the question is, where do I go, and where could I possibly use them? I could max out the front downforce here, but that's 1,100 points, so I'm going to have to wait for that one. If we look elsewhere, in terms of engine, I thought we had the strongest power unit, but Mercedes actually brought a big upgrade of their own. So I could do some ERS work, because ERS could do with being more, efficient overall, I think. Looking, going forward here, we've got a lot of ERS options, and they would open up a lot of good upgrade possibilities for us. So that's a possibility going into Monza, and I think I might do it, to be fair. I can work on aero going into Singapore, and the chassis is looking okay at the moment. We're just a fraction off Toro Rosso. We're a little bit further back in the aerodynamic department, so I think what we're going to do is, I am leaning towards investing these. Considering Monza is next, I'm going to say ERS, although fuel consumption is also quite necessary, in fairness. Where do I go? You know what, I think I'm going to go ERS cooling. I'm going to try the ERS one, because I can add more fuel to the car to start the race if I need to. So we'll get that one on the car, and hopefully that will make us the strongest power unit once again, and we might be able to re-overtake Mercedes there. But for the next race, guys, we've got a triple upgrade on the way, a triple minor one, and it should bring us very close to Alfa Romeo in the R&D graph, and put us right on the back of them going into their home race. So it should be exciting. Hopefully the upgrades do work. 2 of them are definitely going to work. It's just a question of if the engine one also comes through, and will then be very much in the midfield fight. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. And if you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video, and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content and turn notifications to not miss any videos from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.